So, quick context for you. I'm back in the office today, but the conversations that you're about to hear were recorded live with Anthony and I at the BHA. It's a national conference in Chicago, Illinois. We weren't able to get all of the exhibitors and attendees, but we're pretty happy with the sampling that we brought you. Welcome to the Contractors Edge, the show where we break down the strategies, tactics, and tools that you need to grow your home service business. Whether you're in a truck or in the office, we're here to give you the edge that you need to win. I'm Mike Stiers. So I'm going to knock out the edge of the week for you. This week's edge, you need to understand that Google is steering more users into full AI mode. The ads now appear in the AI mode, which is very conversational, questions and the answers more like a ChatGPT or a Gemini based. And the eligibility for these actually leans heavier into the AI Max campaigns. So this essentially means that if you're using your typical ad style, you're not going to appear in the full AI mode. And Google is now prompting people as they search and they get standard results, they're asking them to go and explore AI mode. Now, within AI mode, there's a series of question and answers. And then those specific questions, if you're using the AI Max campaigns and it kind of matches up to the intent on your keywords, then it's going to start popping your ads. So you really need to think about how you position this play. Are you going to be really intent-based with your searches and be really bottom funnel? We're still all learning, as we work through the AI Max and the AI mode. Very exciting. So I know, obviously, for all of our listeners, you're kind of wondering, how is this going to impact your business? It is going to impact your business. It is only a matter of time before our browsing experience on Google goes full AI mode. So my suggestion to you is that you get with your marketing team, your digital team, or even an agency, that you're working with, and ask them to, put a strategy together and let's test out the AI Max campaigns. This is at least a really good shot for your core services. Now to the BHA coverage. So we talked to some really cool vendors about their featured products, really dynamic CRM company that is listening to the folks that are using their platform and then changing it, and evolving it. Also to a leading distributor in the space, and then a few contractors that attended the event. And of course, some insights from Anthony and I. So we hope that you enjoy. What's up? It's Mike.
Anthony Brown.
With Contractors Edge, we're here at the BHA with Contractor Accelerator. And today we're going to learn a little bit more about what your platform is and how you're helping business owners just like we are.
Perfect. Yeah. So we take your lead from your website, or if you're getting leads other places, all of that funnels right into Contractor Accelerator so you can manage everything all in one place.
Mm-hmm.
You take that lead from a lead. Obviously, the goal is to get that person scheduled, get him a bid. All the way through that process, we have an integrated map, we have integrated bidding tools, we have an integrated drawing tool, and we just launched our payments feature. So now you can also get paid inside the software too. So it's an all-in-one tool for sure.
One of the things that I had kind of desired from your system, seeing you guys and interacting with you, was like a way to connect with external systems. And you guys came up to me yesterday and were like, hey, you remember that API thing?
Yeah.
We got it now.
So it's an open API for your leads. So if you're getting leads from Angie, or if you're getting leads from your website,
or
all those
different AI.
Any of those places that you're getting leads from, that can all go into CA. And as soon as that lead fills out whatever and it gets pushed into Contractor Accelerator, we're going to send an automatic email as well.
Nice.
So that you're reaching back out to that customer right away.
Yeah.
And then you guys get a notification inside your system as well, so that they can make sure that they're following up with that customer too.
Right. Is that customizable? So for the messaging, for the cadence of messaging?
So it's just one email right now for that lead. But yes, it's absolutely customizable, and it has some we call it tagging, but it's dynamic field. So it'll still say, dear John, thank you for, reaching out. Somebody will be calling you soon. Yeah, that kind of thing.
That's exciting. So as a contractor, are they doing the customizations inside of the platform, or are they actually working with your team?
They can, yes. And they can also work with us, but we give them all of that stuff out of the box. So like I was talking about, easy. So they have all of those emails pre-made whenever they sign up and start an account, but they can go and modify them if they want to. We wanted to get them all the default content for their text messages and their emails and their bid, so that literally on day one, you can start using it and you don't, have to change anything unless you really want to.
See, and that's great because you're taking your experience. You understand how you need to communicate, how timely, that importance. Then you're making it easier for that contractor. I'm also curious about like the size of the companies that you work with. Is this more of like an entry where they're coming in? Is there a point when they might like scale out of your platform, or does your platform continue to grow with them as well?
Absolutely, that's right. So as soon as they start, they can be a one-person operation, and then we will scale all the way up to 100 users if they had them.
That's great.
But we can work with companies that are already large, and we can get them integrated and using the software.
So we do have customers that use one aspect of the software, but the payment system that we've set up as far as your subscription, you get everything. We don't piecemeal any of it.
Okay.
So it's totally up to them. If they only want to use the drawing tool or they only want to use the scheduling, they can. We've found that people are more successful when they're using the whole system,
Of course.
which is why we bundle it the way we do.
So one thing that is really important to us, we always talk about it on the contract, is measurement, right? Our measurement is different than the contractor themselves measurement. So like when we're talking about that leads API, is that something that when the lead comes in, it can automatically tag what the source was, what type of lead it was for the type of service, for example, or what type of area, what type of information can you pull in, and is it dynamic?
They can set it up to be whatever they want it to be within the system, and then copy that code and send it off to their web development team, and they can throw it on the system.
Right.
That form is one thing. And then we also have the open API where you can build your own form. Not your web team can build your own form. We also have then the question, how did you hear about us? So that marketing source piece with some built-in reporting, because that will actually take that lead all the way through. Did you have an appointment? Did you get a bid out? Did the bid get accepted? How much money was brought back in? And to top that off, there's also a place where you can put your marketing spend into the system. So we'll be able to actually see, hey, you spent 75% of your budget on this
ROI
marketing source, but you're only getting 2% of your leads from that marketing source.
Okay, I like that.
How's that work on the attribution? So one of the things that Anthony and I have been talking about and trying to educate our listeners is understanding that, you know, right now it's 11 to 14 touches essentially to get someone convinced to contact your company and give it an opportunity. So in that process, there's a lot of touch points.
Absolutely.
So is this a last touch attribution?
It would be.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we also added a secondary marketing source. So if you do hear the customers mention something else, you can have that secondary marketing source.
We're making you so happy.
What's happening is sometimes a pitfall by the contractor where you're seeing that last touch on the attribution process. And they're saying, okay, this is this. Then they're talking to the homeowner and they're getting a little bit more information. And then that secondary source is equally as important as what that last touch was, because that could be the primary way that they heard about you. Then they go to your Google business profile or they click through on an ad, and then that's how they have that touch point. So our big thing is helping the contractors understand, don't discriminate against either one of those. Understand that they're equally
all
as important. Yes, they are. It's all part of that customer journey.
The whole point of the podcast is to leave the listeners with something actionable, something that can help improve their business, their operations, their sales, their revenue. Is there something that you guys would like to point to? We call it the edge of the week.
So for me, I always tell everyone how important it is to get a system or get a CRM. Have a centralized place where all of your customers' data lives. And that way you don't have something on a spreadsheet, something in a notebook, something on a Post-it note, and you can't remember where, you know, what their phone number is, what their email is. And that way you have one consistent place where you're always going back to pull that customer's information and you can see the notes, right? So something as simple as, you know, a really easy, simple CRM is fine. And really, honestly, that's like day one of starting a business.
It really is. Yeah.
Because we hear a lot of, well, I'm just brand new. I don't need anything. That's a big mistake, right? Get a process, get a system on day one.
And for me, it's when you lose the visibility of that data, you lose the edge that you can get from that data. Yeah, you like that. Your business, it doesn't matter if you're 1 million, 5 million, 10 million. That data is going to be instructive as to what your customers want, what you're good at, or what you should improve. So if you're a one-man band, like you should still measure yourself. Walk on that scale.
Say, visit our website, contractoraccelerator.com. We also offer free demos and a 2-week free trial. So you want to get in and try out the software, we'll, you know, schedule a demo with you, get you trained. You can try it out. If it's not going to work for you, that's fine, but we are available. So contractoraccelerator.com.
One of the things that we hear from people whenever they're talking about trying to get a system in place is the time that it takes to do that.
Yes, I lived through that.
You know, her saying, find a system. The number one roadblock is, when I find myself with 2 hours of time to even think about it. Contractor Accelerator is built knowing that. If you can figure out how to use Facebook and Amazon, you can figure the software out. You have full control. But I personally, looking at the camera now, I personally will hold your hand and help you.
Just do it.
Just do it.
That should be our tag.
I think we stole that from somewhere else.
New tagline.
I'm here at the BHA, and I'm here with FRS. I know you guys have a big event coming up, so I know I want to talk about that. But before we get into it, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about the company?
Yeah, thanks, Anthony. So my name is Gary Miller. I'm the Upper Midwest Territory Manager for FRS. I do business development with contractors in a 5-state territory that includes Michigan, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Illinois, Iowa, a little bit of the Dakotas, and parts of Missouri as well. But yeah, thanks for bringing up our national event. In November 11th through 13th, we're going to be having a 3-day event. It's going to be not unlike what a BHA does, but we think it's going to be a little bit more sales centric. It's going to be focused on helping contractors develop their sales organizations, perhaps the inclusion of an inside salesperson. And we're really excited to be rolling out some new in-home sales presentation software that's going to be able to be branded by a contractor.
Absolutely.
So yeah, we're really excited about that.
I know I'm really excited too. So make sure that you're there if you can be for the Indy show in November. Tell me a little bit about some of your differentiators, things that people should know about FRS, why you should be on their mind.
Yeah. So, let's be honest, there's a lot of suppliers in our industry.
Absolutely.
Probably one of the biggest differentiators, though, is our consignment program.
Absolutely.
Which is a way for a contractor to bring the products that they're using in-house, not to pay for it until such time as they take it out of their inventory. So it's a great way to manage cash flow, allows the contractor to, direct that cash to other more urgent things in building their business.
I know. Especially with the tariffs, it's something that's on a lot of people's minds. Their suppliers are having to deal with the ways that that's changing availability for supply. So for a lot of the clients that we work with at the agency, the peace of mind that you get out of having like a stockpile of a lot of the materials that you need to get you through your year, to get you through the next 2 even. We have a couple of clients that have your guys' consignment. And every time I'm talking to them, they're so excited about how loaded their warehouse is, that they have all the materials they need to do whatever job pops up.
Yeah. And again, to emphasize, the contractor is not paying for this up front. They're able to take delivery of the products that they use. They only pay us when they take it out of stock for a job. So yeah, we're really excited about it. We think it's a kind of a game changer for the industry.
Absolutely. For you contractors out there, make sure that you do register for the event that's coming up in Indy in November.
Hey, what's up? It's Mike Stiers.
Anthony Brown.
With the Contractors Edge. We're out here at BHA Chicago. We're meeting with Brian Lester of Dot. Brian, can you tell us a little bit more about Dot?
Yeah, Dot Cleaner is a unique new cleaning product line that was developed using technology invented at Carnegie Mellon University. We offer the cleaning product to do the cleaning process, but we also have training for that process. So the idea is to take my experience. So I've got 27 years of experience in the mold remediation industry, and we want to bring that into the foundation waterproofing industry and help you guys learn how to do that system correctly and efficiently.
Okay.
That's great.
Yeah. So your trainings, are you sending people out to those businesses? Is this a regional thing? Are you guys nationwide? How does that look?
So we've been all over the country doing training. So it's usually based on the commitment and the cooperation that we have with the contractors. So we have purchase requirements to go on site. We do a lot of virtual training. So we have Zoom trainings that we can do for both the salespeople and the technicians actually doing the work.
Good.
So one of the biggest hangups we found was that people didn't have good spray equipment. We weren't offering spray equipment. Now we are. Just it's a problem that existed that we try to find a solution for.
Sure.
But we want it to be a simple system that technicians will actually do over and over again, but then is also compliant with the mold remediation standards.
That's what I was going to ask.
I know he's going to drill into this.
I have so many clients in like across the country, and different states have different like requirements around mold. Mold it's a tricky subject for basement and crawl space businesses, depending on what
organic materials.
Inorganic materials, depending on what state they're in. Is yours compliant with all state regulations to be a remediation product or service?
That is a very complicated question.
I know.
Can my system be used in any state? Yes. For the vast majority of states, it's way simpler than most contractors think that it is.
Yeah.
And much simpler than the local mold guy down the road has tried to convince you that it is. I'm from Indiana, and in Indianapolis, there are literally no rules. So you next week can be a mold specialist.
Grab a spray bottle.
Yeah.
Get in there.
Like anyone in the state of Indiana can claim to have this expertise. So that's true for most of the country, believe it or not.
So a lot of the time I see with like the mold products, they come with like a certification type of thing for that reason, that like when you're in those states that kind of have that freehand, like just go with it rule structure, you'll have the products kind of offer a certification that says that I'm trained to do this.
So
there you go.
we're doing a certification class today. We did one at the National Foundation Repair Association.
That's fantastic.
And then it's something that we can do on site for companies that are partnering with us. So we've got some groups now that are rolling this out to all of their locations, and we'll actually travel, get those groups together and do a big certification class, and off they go.
I got a very difficult question for you.
Oh no.
Why choose you over the other guy?
So the cleaning process of mold remediation can be done with lots of different products. So the advantage to our product is its functionality. So it comes in packets. So you can, these 4 boxes here are basically 50 gallons worth of product.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So in our business, we actually generally have guys out with 50 gallons on their truck at all times. Then we can put 200 gallons at the shop at all times. So you just never run out of product. So there's the transport issue that's helpful. But the technology in it's cool. I have found I can over nerd on that a little bit too much. And most people are not all that interested in the chemistry, but it is unbelievably cutting edge, cool technology. But I think that the design of the form is probably one of the biggest advantages for people in the industry. It's just really easy to work with.
That's exciting. So one of the things that I know our viewers and listeners are really like passionate about is how much profit can they make off of, like, if they've got your product and they've got a mold remediation job that they're going out to take care of, is there a profitability aspect?
Yeah, so the profit margins on mold remediation cleanup or biological cleanup or crawl space cleanup, whatever terminology you choose to use in your business, is usually 70% plus profit margin. If you're looking at just the gross margin, we strive to do better than that at my business, but you should be hitting that. If you're not, then something's up.
Yeah.
And for a lot of folks that are implementing this that haven't done it before, they can add 30 to 40% of profitability to the bottom line in their business with no new customers.
I think what Brian is saying, if you are not currently doing mold remediation with the DOT product, then you probably need to get a hold of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of folks in the industry that are scared of getting into the mold remediation business.
Yes, it is scary.
And I love to say, you're already in the mold remediation business. So you advertise that you're going to reduce the possibility of mold, or that you're going to control moisture, and that's going to control microorganisms. Those are technically called kill claims. So you're making a preventative claim, and you're already in the mold business. So what I want to do is teach you how to be in that space safely. And then if you truly choose not to be in that, you gotta have to change some of your marketing.
It's a money left on the table type of thing that I see, where a lot of people who are talking or searching around their crawl spaces, they're interested in the mold, right? And they end up getting an encapsulation, but that's because that company is offering the encapsulation as a remediation. Like the interest from the customer is about mold.
Yeah, I mean, when I was in the industry, the solution that we offered was a complete solution. So we would identify the problem, and then we would provide the solution. But then along the way, obviously, if there was already some organic growth, we're going to go ahead and take care of it. So, and then at that point, the homeowner's very happy, because not every company that's going out that's proposing a solution is actually talking about that. And the homeowner's very concerned about what they're breathing, and the fact that 50% of the air that you breathe in your home is coming from your crawl space basement. Is very encouraging that you've got a product that sounds like it's easier to use. You're providing the education and support, and potentially. So how do interested contractors get in touch with you?
So the easiest way is just go to dotcleaner.com, dotcleaner.com. Pretty simple to remember. So I'm Brian. You can usually get me directly through the website, but we also have a whole sales team, support team, and training team that you can get in touch with, and we can get you more information.
It's awesome.
Fantastic. Thanks for talking with us.
Yeah, thanks for taking time. Guys. Great to meet you as well. Hey, what's up? Mike with Contractors Edge. We're out here at BHA, and today I'm with Alex with Aprilaire. Alex is going to tell us a little bit about some new product offerings that they have that are certainly going to benefit our viewers and listeners.
Absolutely. So the very first thing I'd like to talk to you about is we have a new Wi-Fi user interface for all of our dehumidifiers on the E-Series. So what this does is, if you look here, this is our standard user interface that comes standard on every E-Series unit. where you have your up and down control, your on and off, and then your mode buttons. This new Wi-Fi user interface is going to allow you to use an app from anywhere in the world and be able to check your dehumidifier, check for humidity, check for error codes, diagnostics, or when you need to clean your filter. And what this allows us to do for the homeowner is it gives them a little bit more control over what they have in their house.
Yeah.
And they'll also be able to monitor it on long term. So it can do by day, it can do by week, or it can do by month. For the contractor, what it does is if they do have a diagnostic code, they can also start adding services into their plans where they can say, hey, we'll monitor this for you. So when they monitor, what they can do is they'll be able to go in per homeowner and be able to tell them, hey, you know, this thing has a diagnostic code, we need to come out, and they'll be able to schedule for that. But the neat part is if they're 2, 3, 4 hours away from their offices, they'll know exactly what to bring, exactly what's going on with the unit, and then be able to diagnose before they even go to the job site.
That's great. So that actually, you know, sorry to interrupt you, but
No.
that right there is a selling tool, you know, for the contractor. So just understanding that you have something that's unique, that's transparent to the homeowner, because I'm thinking about like, what are these selling points that the contractors can understand that give you reassurance? It's a differentiator, something that's very unique, because the homeowner is who we want to motivate with this.
Right.
So now you've got the accessibility. I know I'm an app guy. I like to play with my toys. I love the visibility and the fact that I could be out and away, you know, from home. There's an error. You guys know exactly what the problem is.
100%.
You can schedule the service. The contractor, you know, is understanding what is wrong, you know, with the unit. And from there, it just makes it super convenient.
That's exactly right.
Are you finding that, you know, the contractors at this point are like, is this is an upgrade from this unit, or is this something that's now coming?
So it's kind of twofold. So it is an upgrade if you already have a pre-existing Aprilaire unit that has this user interface. That is an upgrade that is plug and play and bolt in.
Okay.
If you want to buy a brand new unit with this already installed, we also have that available. That's called our W series. So what you're going to get is, say, for instance, this unit here is our EO50. Starting in October, you'll have this availability with this inside of here. So when you get it out of the box, you're ready for Wi-Fi or you're ready for water sensing, which brings us to our next thing. We're moving to a system platform. So Aprilaire is moving to a full healthy air system.
Love it.
What that means, we want control, we want to be able to monitor, and we also want to be able to add key features. So what we can do with this, it's about the size of a macaroon, but this is a water sensor. So if you're having your basement or crawl space encapsulated, or if you just have a sink that may be prone to leaking or anything like that, or a water heater, you can set that with it, label it, it talks to the DHU, talks to the app, and now you have full control up to 9 water sensors in a home.
I love it. That's fantastic. I mean, I'm a ADT alarm system guy, so you know, I love the fact that I've got all of these sensors everywhere, and you know, whether it be a breach or a motion sensor. But having something that does water detection, I'd probably put this under my kitchen sink, under the hot water tank,
100%.
over by a sump pump. You know, if we can get the first time that the water's rising up, and you know, coming from the industry, we installed Aprilaire, you know, ourselves, so very familiar with the product. You know, obviously top level service and support. And the great thing about Aprilaire is that they're super focused on education and support of the contractor. And the more educated and supportive the contractor is, the better off the homeowner is working with that contractor.
100%. But yeah, so that's essentially it. We're trying to add more key features, obviously, for the homeowner. The end user is always in mind first. But for the contractor, as far as adding services, we have to expand. The industry's growing and innovation's where we're headed.
What's the best way for them to get in touch with Aprilaire?
Go to aprilaire.com, or you can go to aprilairepartners.com if you want more information or more insight on what we can do for your home.
Sweet. Hey, what's up? It's Mike with Contractors Edge. I'm here with Josh. And Josh, what brought you out here from North Carolina?
You guys. No.
Oh, geez.
Networking. Always learn something new when I come to these conferences. It's always worth the trip.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. And so when you come out to these conferences and, you know, you're making this commitment to educate yourself and then take these things back to your business, you know, is this something that you would suggest for other contractors to do as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, talking to the vendors, you always learn something from them. As long as you take, you know, a couple nuggets away from this, it's worth the trip. Best practices from talking to industry peers is always extremely valuable to us. So, I mean, I always learn something new every single time we come.
Networking is the big piece. And that's what, you know, we've been talking to like exhibitors and, you know, folks such as yourself, you know, a business owner, you're coming in and, you know, you're looking to gain insight and experience from others that are in this industry. And so that you can take these little tidbits and apply it to your business as well. So, you know, when you're walking around, you're talking with all these exhibitors here at the show, you know, are there exhibitors that you're working with, or like, you know, certain products that you're thinking about, you know, taking back to your business as well?
Yeah, obviously work with you guys on the marketing side. Talk to a couple different distributors to, you know, just see what kind of products and services they offer as well. Some new ones that I've seen that I haven't seen yet, so I'm excited to talk to them a little bit more.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So, you feel this is a worthwhile experience for folks
Yeah.
to make that commitment to, come out. Basement Health Association. Obviously we've got NFRA coming up.
Mhm.
FRS has a big training that's
Yeah.
coming up as well. What is like one or two takeaways that you're going to go back and make an immediate change in your business?
Yeah, I mean, I could do it for hours. Usually when I come back from one of these conferences, I inundate my team with all these different ideas and stuff that I have. So kind of got to reduce it down to what's, most important right now. After listening to Chuck in there with the sales training, there's definitely some things we need to tighten up in our sales process. That's probably front of my mind right now.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. We always talk about on the Contractor's Edge, these 2% tweaks that you can make.
Mhm.
Can you answer 2% more of your calls, set 2% more of your leads, go out and close 2% more of your sales, increase
Right.
your average ticket by 2%. I mean,
Yep.
like all of these little things. And that's what, you can take back and you can apply immediately.
Right.
So, hey, actionable insights.
Yeah.
There you go. With Contractors Edge, we're out here at the BHA. And right now we're meeting with Josh and Todd from Healthy Home Foundation Repair. Guys, what have you thought about the show so far?
It's been really good. There's been a lot of very good people coming on and teaching us things from financials to bookkeeping to inside sales to developing a service team to a multitude of other things, getting business credit, building that. And more importantly, outside, we get a chance to network and talk to other people within
Best
our
part about
industry.
it? What's it look like as far as the services that you provide and perform to homeowners?
Basement waterproofing, basement structural repair, crawl space structural,
Mhm.
crawl space encapsulations, and piers, both helical and push.
Awesome. Fantastic. And obviously there's a huge array of, exhibitors that are here. Are there any exhibitors that, you're working with that are learning and applying into your business that it's helping you kind of grow?
Yeah, actually several, FRS, we get tons of supplies from them. Our CRM is now Contractor Accelerator. We've been with them for a little over a year. Some of the carbon fiber stuff, Carbon Guard, we've used those guys. We had previously been using like 5 different marketing, advertising, Facebook, Google, and Josh was wrestling all those people constantly. And then I had heard that Greenbaum Stiers was available. I knew you guys were pretty much a one-stop shop. Talked to Josh about it. Next thing we know, we're on a video call, and it was like the perfect, well, let's just say the perfect solution for a lot of our needs. So we got rid of 4, 5, 6 different vendors, and we kind of bring it all in-house. And the customer service has been fantastic.
What they've done that others haven't is proactive reaching out on a regular basis, accurate reports. I don't have to call them several times to get some information. Trevor reaches out without even me asking. Anytime I call him, he's willing to step on a call for 5-10 minutes and go over any problems, any new ideas. I know that if I set X amount of dollars, I'm going to receive this many leads, which is going to in turn turn into this much revenue, which is going to turn into this much backlog, so we can accurately forecast and predict how our crews are going to be operating.
In our very first meeting, I knew Greenbaum had some experience in the foundation and structural repair industry. And it was Mike that answered, but I had said, okay, what are we talking about here? Have you helped, 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 other companies? He said, I think it's like 68 right now, and I was just like, all right, done deal. All right. Yeah. They're probably the most or the foremost authority on advertising and whatnot in this particular niche market.
So, do you have any kind of message to, the other contractors that may be considering or thinking about going to conferences like this?
Take the time.
Yeah.
Plan it. Take the time. Sacrifice whatever little fire you're putting out for that day and think about the future.
Today, we're talking with the guys at Your Crawl Space. So what can you guys tell about your products?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Daniel with Your Crawl Space. We are a crawl space supplier. So we supply mainly vapor barriers, tapes, and adhesives, really focusing on encapsulations. We offer everything from really like a 6 mil product up to 120 mil. We've got some very unique products that I'd like to talk about today as well. We have our GeoPro liner, which this is a felt backed liner. This is the GeoPro floor. So we offer it in a floor and also a wall liner, which is this right here. We just have a small segment of it. But it works really well because it's got felt on the back, and this just isn't any normal kind of felt. So it's actually moisture wicking. It can actually dry things out. It does a really good job in wet crawl spaces and basements. This pairs with the floor liner, works really well in conjunction with the drain as well. So it dries out soils, dries out foundation walls, things of that nature. and that's proprietary to us.
Can I ask a question about this? I just want to
Absolutely.
make sure that our viewers and listeners understand this product. So is this something, this goes between the foundation, the substrate, and then before you put the liner in, and that's going to protect from like potential punctures or different things like that, kind of like a drainage matting type.
Absolutely. So it's about a 45 mil product, so it's puncture and tear resistant.
Nice.
So you have sharp, jagged edges, as you're crawling over it, or even if you were storing things in your crawl space, that's like really beneficial to your crawl because you could store things on top of this and don't have to worry about it breaking.
Fantastic. That's really helpful for the homeowners that are using that for storage, going in and out on a pretty frequent basis, especially if they've got like, rocks as the substrate, and rather than just like a concrete surface.
Yes, totally. We also offer cleaners, and those are great for, mold cleaning, any type of like dirty wood, fungal growth on wood. You spray it, you don't have to scrub it. It's a hydrogen peroxide product. We also offer a safer choice version in the regular cleaner, and then we have Pro Cleaner for your messier jobs. So.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So as far as like being at the BHA, you've obviously been talking to a lot of contractors that have been here. Just kind of give us an idea of, what kind of conversations have you guys been having, and what kind of support do you provide to the contractors?
100%. We get requested a lot for training, and that's something we offer. We offer in-house training, so we'll come to your facility, whether it's a distributor or a contractor, whoever wants to bring us in, we're glad to train them up. We also offer hands-on training too, so we'll go to the job site and help you do your install. That's something we're big and passionate on because we want to help the contractor at the end of the day.
There's always a lot of options out there. So understanding that there are very specific, proprietary products that have unique usages.
Totally.
And you guys are constantly developing and testing these things and furthering things. I know just in my conversations with HB, he's talking about all these great new materials that you have that are really helping with like the mold remediation and, helping the homeowners feel a little bit more confident about the work that's being done in the crawl space to provide that complete solution. Well, how do people get in touch with you?
You can get in touch with us. You can call our office, or you can get in touch with us just by contacting one of our reps. We'll gladly share all that information with you. So.
My edge of the week is stop trying to do it yourself. Maybe you're not a good recruiter. Maybe you're not good at interviewing. Maybe you don't have the best intuitions at finding that right person on day one. Hire somebody to do it. Pull in another resource. Poach the person, and it doesn't have to be from the same industry. Find somebody that you really enjoy working with. Did a gutter guy come out to your house and do a really good job and sell you gutters? Tell them to come work for you.
Absolutely. It's just understanding exactly what you're saying. It is delegating. It is understanding. If you did the 4 box, you would quickly identify recruiting is not my strong suit. So the biggest piece, and this is something that's really important, it comes up in conversation quite frequently as you graduate from a chuck and a truck into like, we'll call it the certified business, where you begin to put people in place to answer phones because you can't answer all the phones. They're setting the leads, you establish your KPIs, and you have that understanding. If you continue to do things on your own, the things that you're not good at take a lot more time. And then you can't focus on what makes your business successful. Guess what happens? If you continue to grow up beyond the point, like you're no longer a chuck and a trucker, you should not be. But if everything is still on that one individual, the risk is like you cannot.
And it's not just the risk for your business. It's one thing that I always have to remind people, and we're in one of those stages right now. There's a lot of layoffs happening.
Yes, sir.
Your health is now the catalyst for the layoff of your entire staff.
All right, so let's put a wrap on the BHA event in Chicago. Hopefully what you've heard was equally as exciting as it was for all of us being in attendance. With that, I'm going to jump into our pro tip. And when I'm talking about the pro tip this week, I just want you to really be thinking about what you can do for your business. And the first thing that you could do is open up your web browser, navigate to foundationrescuesupply.com/events. and register for the Voices of the Industry. This is a working session with leaders in waterproofing, crawl space, and foundation repair. You're going to get practical strategies that you can actually put to work right away. This has been a collaboration with the Foundation Rescue Supply folks, along with others that are in the industry, such as Will Blake with Performance IO. Aprilaire is actually going to be there doing a certification. This event is November 11th through the 13th. We're going to provide information in the show notes, so you'll be able to see that as well. Outside of like the Aprilaire certification, we've also got goal setting, sales KPIs, numbers that matter. We're going to talk about some great sump pumps right now, how you manage your cash flow, and then even like the in-home sales software and presentation platform. This is something that we have been working with FRS to develop. develop. And we're really excited because this is built to send, owners and sales leaders, foremen, and call center leads home with actual real action items. The seats are free, but you have to register. So use the events page, lock your hotel in before you miss out. Register your team now. Again, seats are free. Bring the people who own your KPIs. As always, thanks for listening to Contractors Edge. If you got value today, we ask that you like, rate, follow, and share this with your team. Subscribe to us on YouTube so you don't miss the next episode. And for resources to help build your team, your lead engine, visit greenbaumstiers.com. Connect with Anthony and I on LinkedIn, and we'll keep bringing you the tips, tools, and tactics to help grow your business. See you next time.